William Raymond Smith III, born July 4, 1981, is an American football defensive end who is currently a free agent. He played college football for Ohio State and was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the first round of the 2004 NFL Draft. Early years. Smith was born in Queens, New York to William and Lisa Smith. He was raised in Utica, New York, at Proctor High School in Utica. Smith was a USA Today All-American pick, and was rated by Prep Football Report as the best defensive line prospect in the state. As a senior he had 20 sacks. Professional career: 430-pound bench press, 585-pound squat, 325-pound power clean. New Orleans Saints. Smith was selected as the 18th pick in the first round of the 2004 NFL Draft by the New Orleans Saints. He had a successful rookie season with 30 tackles and 7.5 sacks. In 2005 he had 48 tackles and 8.5 sacks and played well enough that the Saints did not re-sign Darren Howard, thus making Smith the starter opposite Charles Grant for the 2006 season. Smith has gradually established himself as one of the premier defensive ends in the NFL. In his first season as a full-time starter, Smith became a leader of the defensive line and emerged as one of the NFL's top defensive ends. He was voted to the Pro Bowl and finished tied for 14th in the NFL with a career-best 10.5 sacks. Smith played in 14 games, sitting out the finale with the Saints having clinched a playoff berth and also missing one contest with a knee injury. The club's No. 1 pick in 2004 has been a force since his arrival in New Orleans, notching 33.5 sacks in 4 seasons. His 26.0 sacks in his first 3 seasons is the second most in club history in so short a span. Charles Grant, 27.5, 2002-04. Smith brings energy, toughness and a hard-nosed approach to each game, setting the tone for the entire defensive front, and he's equally strong against the run. In his brief career, he has played in 62 games and posted 215 tackles, 156 solo, and 13 forced fumbles. In 2006, he was named to his first Pro Bowl as a starter. 2004, turned in a strong rookie year with 59 tackles, 41 solo, 7.5 sacks, a team-high 6 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery. Played in all 16 games and started 4, recording a sack in 7 games. Sack total ranked second in the NFL among rookies and 4th in club history for a rookie. Came on strong over the last 8 games with 36 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery. Had 6 tackles, 4 solo, a sack and a forced fumble versus San Francisco, Sept. 19. Had 4 tackles, all solo, and a sack at Atlanta, NOV. 28. First of a 3-week stretch where he recorded a sack, including versus Carolina, December 5th and at Dallas, December 12th, when he also added a forced fumble. December 19th at Tampa Bay had a key forced fumble in the 4th quarter that set up a game-winning march. Also made a downfield block earlier in the quarter to spring WR Michael Lewis for a 53-yard punt return. Equaled season high with 8 stops, 7 solo, 1.5 sacks and a forced fumble with a fumble recovery at Carolina, the 2nd of January 05. Posted a forced fumble in each of last 4 contests, the first player in club history to do so in 4 straight contests. 2005, tied for 8th in the NFC with a team-leading 8.5 sacks, despite starting 9 games and not becoming a full-time starter until the final 6 contests. Had at least 1 sack in 6 contests. Recorded 85 tackles, 6 pass defenses, 2 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery. Tallied 5 tackles, a sack and a forced fumble at Carolina, Sept. 11. Marked the 5th straight contest Smith had caused a fumble, the first player in club history to do so. Started at LDE versus Atlanta, October 16th and had 8 tackles and a sack. Top performance came at New England, November 20th, with a career-high 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks and a forced fumble against defending Super Bowl champions. Started at RDE at New York Jets, November 27th and responded with 6 tackles and a sack. Started at LDE versus Detroit, December 24th and had 6 tackles, a sack and deflected a pass. 2006, started 14 games at RDE, declared inactive versus San Francisco, December 3rd, with a knee injury and versus Carolina, December 31st, with the Saints having clinched a playoff berth. Posted 5 or more tackles in 7 contests. Ranked 14th in the NFL with a career-high 10.5 sacks and added 56 tackles, 35 solo, 2 pass defenses, 3 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery. Had a sack in each of the first 3 games, and added a fumble recovery at Green Bay, Sept. 17. Notched 5 stops, a career-high 2 sacks and a forced fumble at Tampa Bay, NOV. 5. Had a pair of sacks again at Atlanta, November 26th where he also deflected a pass and forced a fumble, and had 2 more sacks at Dallas, Dec. 10, was also a force in the postseason, with 8 stops in the NFC divisional playoffs versus Philadelphia and 7 tackles at Chicago in the NFC Championship championship. 2007, Smith recorded a team-high 7 sacks, 66 tackles and a safety. He sacked Carolina Panthers starting QB David Carr early in the season, ending Carr's season. 2008, the Saints agreed to terms with Smith on a 6-year, $70 million contract with $26 million guaranteed. The deal makes him the third highest paid defensive end in the NFL. On December 2, 2008, Smith was one of 6 players suspended for use of bumetanide, a diuretic, which can be used as a masking agent for steroid use. It is believed that the diuretic was found in Starcaps, a weight loss supplement that he had been taking. Smith's original punishment was announced as a 4-game suspension for the final 4 games of the 2008 regular season. Enforcement of the suspension was delayed as other players challenged the decision through federal and state courts, and the league allowed all players involved in the matter to continue playing pending a final resolution of the case. Smith's suspension was later reduced to 2 games and an additional 2 lost paychecks, and was served at the beginning of the 2011 NFL season. 2009, under new defensive coordinator Greg Williams, Smith has had a very solid year. After 15 games, he has 13.0 sacks, 49 tackles, 3 forced fumbles and 1 interception, and was honorable mention All-Pro by AP and SN. 2012, on May 2, 2012, Smith was suspended by the NFL for the first 4 games of the 2012 season because of his alleged role in the New Orleans Saints bounty scandal. Smith's suspension was ultimately overturned on appeal to former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. Smith started all 16 games of the 2012 season, and was credited with 58 tackles and 6 sacks. 2013, for the 2013 season, Smith was slated to move to the outside linebacker position in the 3-4 defense favored by the Saints' new defensive coordinator, Rob Ryan. However, Smith suffered a knee injury, a torn ACL, in the Saints' third preseason game, against the Houston Texans on August 25, 2013, and was reported to be out for the season. On August 27, 2013, the Saints placed Smith on injured reserve. On February 12, 2014, Smith was released from the New Orleans Saints. New England Patriots. On May 5, 2014, Smith signed with the New England Patriots. The Patriots released Smith on August 24, 2014. Career statistics. Personal. Smith is married to Raquel, née Joseph. They have 2 children together and he has another child from a previous relationship.